Rockingham for round 7 of Days of Thunder. Stevie Hodgson and John Stewart got their debut wins last time round, and today Ollie Playle has got his debut pole position. The front of the pack has never looked so tight. Just before we catch up with John Stewart, let's remind you of his award-winning drive from round 6.
And now John Stewart will come from 4th to take the lead. What a masterful piece of opportunism from John Stewart. The checkered flag is in hand. John Stewart is going to take the Virgin Experiences car to victory lane. Unbelievable stuff. And look at them in pit road going mental.
And I'm with John Stewart now. John, that was an almighty race last round, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a good win for us, a good win for the team. First podium and top step, which I suppose wasn't a bad result.
Well, you said it wasn't a bad result. It's a little bit of an understatement because it was a terrific win. And in fact, the Autosport fans have voted you driver of the day for the last round. Well done, John Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you to the Autosport fans as well, didn't they?
Yeah, because they all voted for you.
And all the fans.
Now, on to today.
Yes.
You start in 3rd.
Yes. 3rd.
It's a little bit further up than last time and you won it.
That's it. So 5th to 1st. Perhaps we'll do a 3rd to 1st. But there's some very quick cars around us today.
Yeah, and you know who's right behind you, don't you?
Stevie's right behind me, I understand, and Ollie's right in front of me, and Ollie's quick, so
yeah.
I wouldn't mind following Ollie, so and Stevie can follow me if he likes, and we're quite happy to stay there, but...
OK, well, you're not doing so bad yourself, John. Thanks for talking to us. In fact, let's have a look at the championship table as it stands. John Stewart moves himself up to 2nd in the championship, past Colin White, who drops down to 3rd. Stevie Hodgson stays at the top of the table, while John Mickle's 2nd place in round 6 pushes him up to 7th after his disappointing start to the season. Stevie, here we are halfway through the championship and you're leading it. Would you have thought that at the start of the season when you didn't even have a car to sit in?
No, not at all, really. Not at all, and very privileged, and a big thanks to Talk Speed for letting me drive the Monopoly car, and I'm over the moon with it, really.
Now, moving on to today, you're 5th.
Yeah, we got held up in qualifying on this fast lap, but I mean, we're only a 10th off pole. We've just done morning warm-up and we're 3rd quickest, so I'm happy for the race.
Ollie, you've qualified on pole.
I have.
Does it make you a little bit more nervous?
Yeah, I was being sick this morning.
You were
I was flying up for the first time this morning, but...
just purely through nerves?
Just purely through nerves.
You got a lot of quick guys behind you. You obviously know that.
Yeah, the top 3 from last race have now qualified top 3 in this one, so it's going to be a tough battle, but we've had a quick car all through testing in different scenarios, so we're hoping for another top finish.
You're leading the rookies,
Yes, correct.
Do you feel like a rookie?
Do I look like a rookie?
You don't look like a
No,
rookie.
I look like an old man, don't I?
You look all weather beaten.
Yes, we're doing. I think we're quite lucky, aren't we, really?
Well, it's quite modest to say so, but Skid was leading it, wasn't he?
Yeah, Skid was leading it, and Skid had a big skid. And I went in backwards and did a lot of damage, so fortunate for us, we're leading the rookie points. So.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how fun was that?
That was a 20, I reckon. Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
Excellent. Thanks very much, David,
thank
and well
you.
done.
Yeah,
right then, the race is about to start, so let's hand over to the guys in the commentary box.
Well, thanks, Helen, and first of all, to introduce a new commentator. Rob Murphy joins me for this weekend as our regular Paul Mazel has joined his wife Sally down the maternity ward.
Great to be here, Steve. The front row of the grid, Ollie Playle on pole with John Mickle.
Stewart and Swan line up on row 2.
Hodgson and Colin White are on 3.
Followed by Steve Hobday and Ian McKellar Jr.
Row 5 gives us Tony King, the Shark, and Mark Proctor.
And completing the dozen, Chris Cook and Steve Dance.
We move down to row number 7. Ben Collins and Mike Berger's not normally that far back.
John Higgins and Sean Richardson right behind them.
Skid Carrera and Rob Speak are on row number 9.
And completing the 20, Peter Faulding and Mike Luck.
It's Malcolm Klein and Duncan Gray, the rookie, on row number 11.
And now let's have a look at the onboard cameras. Number 17, Tony King. And at the front of the field, our pole position man, the car 88, Ollie Playle.
That's right, as the cars come towards the stripe, the green flags go, and we are racing round 7 of Days of Thunder at Rockingham.
Well, what a great start there for John Mickle, and the 66 Xerox car pulls ahead of the pole position man Ollie Playle, but Playle already up alongside, just as tight for second, third, fourth and fifth places down there in the pack. Stevie Hodgson at the tail end of that train pushing hard, but it's Ollie Playle through into the race lead. John Mickle going wheel to wheel with John Stewart. Then it's Stevie Hodgson moving up down the inside there of Anthony Swan, and a spinner at the back. Colin White, oh my, and what a huge accident. The NEC car there, and Michael Burgess rolls and rolls to a standstill. Number 11 also out there, Skid Carrera, heavily damaged there for Colin White as well. Well, Mark Proctor gets a great escape, and the yellow flags are waving. 5 cars are stationary down on the infield.
Wow, that is the biggest accident we've seen in Days of Thunder competition so far, and stating the obvious, that was just huge. Great to see everybody getting out of the cars. Here's what the start of it was. It looked like Colin White just got loose. Mark Proctor tries to make avoiding action, as does Michael Burgess. Michael Burgess can't make the avoidance. He gets on the grass, Steve, and boy, oh boy, it all starts from here.
Well, there you can see it's still doing 75 or 80 miles an hour, hits the grass going sideways and just keeps on rolling. Tony King heading down pit lane at the back of our shop there. Another car caught up in that action. Let's see it again here. Burgess actually trying to avoid Colin White, who's already in the wall. And I think somebody moved across on Colin White in the pack as well. And the 19 car up into the wall taking avoiding action as well. That's John Higgins. He's out of the race, but that was one huge accident for Michael Burgess.
Indeed it was, and we look at Colin White's crew are taking a look at the monitor. They're going to be concerned, but of course they've seen Colin White jump out of the car, as we have. Skid Carrera on the left there is also walking around as Mike Burgess gets attention from the doctors.
Well, there is Tony King's car stationary in the pit lane. That took some front-end damage. Now let's have a look at that from his viewpoint. Well, there is Mark Proctor, gets his car spinning and sideways. There is the inverted Burgess and Colin White. Tony King managed to hit the lot of them. Well, Mark Proctor has managed to get going, but Tony King is stationary in pit lane.
From where I'm standing, it doesn't look too good.
Yeah, from where I was sitting, it looked absolutely awesome. You've got a camera here, so you've got some of the best footage ever of Days of Thunder, I think. I had Mark Proctor sideways there, I had Colin White there, and I had Michael upside down in front of me, so I just tried to get as much brake on as I could to hit him as lightly as I could. I think I might have not hit him, but there was just nowhere at all to go. I was just trying to slow down and hope nobody hit me out the back.
Well, there you can see the NEC car of Michael Burgess.
Okay, let's take it easy.
Well, there you hear it from one of the race car spotters, because the cars go back under green flag, start racing again. And John Mickle putting pressure on Ollie Playle right at that restart. But it's Playle at the moment that has the legs of the number 88 car. Behind him, it's still John Stewart, the veteran. But look at Anthony Swan down the inside of Stevie Hodgson.
Yeah, great move there by Anthony Swan, and a great start by Ollie Playle. It's tough, you know, after they've had that kind of incident, Steve, to kind of get their foot down and go racing again. But boy, oh boy, these guys don't need much, and they just keep going racing. Ollie Playle, youngest guy out in the field, leading this thing, looking good.
Well, he is looking good, but is he saving his tyres? That is the question, because look behind him, John Mickle. Stevie Hodgson closes in on John Stewart, gets a slingshot this time across the start-finish line in the Monopoly car. Passes go, moves up into third.
He sure does. He wants to win this race big time, and he doesn't want to let the leader get too far away from him, Steve. There's one guy who's not going to be thinking about the leader, John Higgins.
What was that? Oh, you're smiling. What was that like to be caught up in?
Pretty scary actually, because obviously Michael's gone over a few times. I don't know how many times, but as I was spinning around, I was watching him. You know, that's quite a scary incident. He's okay. I've just seen him in the medical room. He's fine. Obviously Colin's in there and Skid's fine as well. But you know, we just got caught up in an incident that, you know, it's not his own doing. It's happened in front of us. I've lifted out it just to find out where they're going. And Skid's unfortunately hit me. It's not his fault. It's just a racing incident, and we're round in the wall and the game's over.
Meanwhile, Anthony Swan is the man on the move.
Squeeze him out. Come on, let's go.
Well, plenty of encouragement for Swanee, but it's Stewart still in fourth place.
Yeah, I was very concerned for a few seconds that it was going to be a complete disaster, because Burgess is rolling alongside me, and I was kind of thinking he was coming towards me, maybe going to land on top. This is how close he was. This is a piece of his car, and I got this down my footwell just now, so...
That is a piece of Michael Burgess' car that got inside your car.
Exactly. There's oil from his engine all the way down the side of my car as well, so it was a close one, I tell you. I don't want to do that again.
I tell you what, he doesn't want to do that again, but he's perfectly happy to get in his race car for race 2 if they can get it going again. Talking about getting going, look at this. John Mickle hasn't finished with this race, Steve.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. John Mickle on a real charge. Gets his nose alongside, gets the side alongside, gets the tail end alongside and into the lead. Meanwhile, Swanee has now done it. He's on his way past John Stewart and up into 4th place. It's all happening down on the track, but one man I am very glad to see is down there in the pit lane talking to Helen, driver of the NEC car. That is Michael Burgess.
I didn't see much of it. All I saw, I opened my eyes at one point and I could see the ground scraping on the window. And I thought, well, best close my eyes again because it hasn't finished. And then obviously I was aware that we were rolling.
That's what happened. You went over onto your roof and for a couple of seconds it just looked like you were going to hit something.
Well, it'll dig into the grass. Obviously it dug into the grass and then it must have somersaulted or something.
Grass guy. Good job you kept your eyes shut.
Well, it's a good thing about the HANS device as well. You know, they protect your head from that. And obviously the cars are built very strong, so it's a good thing.
Well, brave words there from Mike Berger. They're so cool and calm in these situations, these race car drivers. And again, cool and calm is Ollie Playle at the front of round number 7. Lap 29, pit stop windows open.
Well, that's right. John Mickle leads Ollie Playle and Stevie Hodgson down into pit lane. Ahead of them, there's one car that was a lap down. Saw them coming in. He's dived into the pits as well. And that is Mike Luck, who's stopping a lap too early. So he's getting in everybody's way down there. But who is going to win the battle of the pit stops? That is the question. Is it going to be the car with the big X on the bonnet? That is John Mickle. Is it going to be the white and silver of Ollie Playle? Is it going to be the red and white of Stevie Hodgson? Or is it going to be Anthony Swan in the blue car at the top of our screens?
I tell you what, the guy who won the battle of the pit lane entrance was John Mickle. He went right by there. He was overtaking in the pit lane. Look at these pit stops. You can see the different speeds. This is torque speed versus Westec. Wow, what a fantastic stop by the 66 crew.
Well, look at that, 13.8 seconds. What's Ollie Playle going to do? That is the big question here. Ollie Playle, oh, it's a slow stop for them, 19.2. Anthony Swan out in 24.3. Stevie Hodgson is the second fastest out of the pits, and that moves him into second place ahead of Ollie Playle. All Ollie Playle's work on the track has been undone there. No discredit to the Westec pit crew, because those two pit stops by the Torque Speed guys were absolutely awesome.
Technical Chief Colin Bennett makes sure nobody goes too fast down pit road. Down on pit road, we've got Gavin Wills.
Your thoughts so far? The boys dropped down to 3rd. That was neck and neck coming out of the pit stop.
Yes, I mean the competition's very hot now, even in the pit stops. The guys did a good stop. Ollie just missed a gear on the way out, which is a little bit unfortunate. You know, he's driving a fabulous race, you know, for pole position, and the kid's still only 19. He's the youngest guy in the field, and he's doing an excellent job.
He certainly is. Just look at that, 35.9 second lap. He's flying.
He's taken half a second a lap out of the front two at the moment, and he's just set the fastest lap of the race.
Well, I tell you what, Gavin Wills is very proud of what Ollie Playle is doing, and you can't blame him. Long way to go in this race, though, but he's looking like such a pro. Last time out, Ollie looked so good, and now he just seems to have matured as a race car driver. And look how fast he is. Look at the guy he's putting moves on.
Well, that is Stevie Hodgson. Don't forget, Hodgson has huge oval race experience driving the 24 car and also running his own team and even working for Richard Petty out in the United States in NASCAR. And Mike Luck, well, we saw him come in a lap too early outside of the pit lane window. Now he pays the price. He heads through for a drive-through penalty. Meanwhile, battle for 4th place still on. Ian McKellar Jr. chasing another Torque Speed car. Oh, and into the wall. That is the car 20. Top rookie driver Steve Hobday is in the wall, out of the race. The yellow flags fly and the car's slow again behind the safety car.
Steve's all right. The car was just loose after the pit stop. We put a new set of tyres on and the car was very loose, and he just came out to turn 4. It got a little bit loose and he thought he'd actually saved it, but unfortunately he didn't.
Well, that's unfortunate as the Rockingham safety crew go to work. Steve Hobday looks fine.
The leading rookie driver, Steve Hobday, has just done what previous leading rookie driver Skid Carrera did last time, dumped his car in the wall. While they're clearing the track, we're going to take a short break. Don't forget, coming up at the end of the show is a chance to win tickets for the next round of Rockingham, Mystique live on stage and all the racing here. Get your pen and your paper handy. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. Welcome back to part 2 of Days of Thunder, and as you can see, poor old Steve Hobday isn't going anywhere. But the rest of the guys are ready to race on. So let's hand you back to the commentary team.
Well, thanks, Helen. And the cars take the green flag behind John Mickle. Now, this is the big chance. That yellow flag period has allowed Ollie Plail to close right in. But at the moment, he's having to defend from Stevie Hodgson and Anthony Swan, who are pushing him very hard indeed. And there's Ollie Plail taking the tighter line, trying to block, goes past John Mickle and into the race lead. It's Mickle who loses out. He drops into third place. Stevie Hodgson's up to second, and Anthony Swan and Ian McKellar Jr. make up the top 5.
Yeah, fantastic move there by Ollie Plail. And let's not forget, these guys have been doing some yellow flag laps. It's very hot here today at Rockingham Motor Speedway. The heat has built up inside these cars, so they've got to do everything they can to concentrate, and Ollie Plail did a great job.
Well, an absolutely fantastic run, and there, look at that top 6. The top 5 cars, 4 of them are from the Talk Speed team. The bad news is the one out in front is from their rival team, also based in Corby in Northamptonshire. That's Team West Tech. That's Ollie Plail.
Sure is. As we take a look at Colin White, it's nice to see him back in the garage. I don't think he's going to be taking any further part today after that big shunt earlier on.
Well, there you can see the pain on Colin White's face. He's a big guy. He can take a lot, but to take a 160 mile an hour hit into that wall, that really does take something. I'm just so pleased to see him out on track. Meanwhile, plenty of battling going on still on the track here, as we see there John Stewart and number 5 there takes an opportunity. That's Rob Speake. They're going past the number 33 car, running a lap down of Peter Faulding, and trying to take an opportunity there is that number 5 car, Rob Speake, the former world stock car champion.
Yeah, Rob Speake, great to see him on some kind of form. He hasn't been as quick as we know he can be, but look at this battle for second place. It's fantastic. Mickle and Hodgson, door handle to door handle, bumper to bumper.
Well, absolutely great racing, but let's take a look at the replay of that accident which really shaped this race back at lap 1.
Yeah, it looked like Colin White just got loose by himself, but we think maybe that somebody else kind of jigged ahead of him a little bit, which caused him to go up wide. But he's okay. Mike Bergers came out of that okay as well. We can talk with Colin White now.
I was coming out of turn 3 and McKellar in front of me. I could see that I could get past him, no problem, so I pulled out to go by him. And he moved across erratically, is the best way to put it. And so I had to swerve out towards the wall to miss him, and then pulled the steering back, which then loosened the back end up, so the back end went. And once that happens, one of these cars is gone and hit the wall. But the next one problem was I knew the pack was behind me, and seeing Michael come in, and he lucky enough really done as much as he could to avoid me. But that sort of crushed aside the cars, crushed him behind all the panels, and then he rode up over the crushed pipework and over the back wheel that then set him in a barrel road down the straightaway. So pretty disastrous to see that happen out my side window, really.
Well, Colin White and Michael Bergers will be back to race another day. This is the battle for second and third. The man they're chasing, of course, is Ollie Plail. The 19-year-old driver is the teenager out in front. Let's find out a bit more about him. Helen put him through the Q&A a bit earlier.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Ant or deck?
Deck.
Tight or loose?
Tight.
Turn 4 or turn 1?
Turn 4.
Brown sauce or tomato sauce?
Brown.
TV or radio?
TV.
Chinese or Indian?
Chinese.
FHM or Maxim?
Maxim.
Nightclub or wine bar?
Nightclub.
Ferrari or Porsche?
Ferrari.
Petrol or diesel?
Petrol.
Rap or rock?
Rap.
EastEnders or Coronation Street?
EastEnders.
Phone or text?
Phone.
I tell you what, he knows what he wants, doesn't he? I didn't understand any of those questions. His mom knows what he wants. She wants to win. Last lap now.
Well, that's the white flag. 1.5 miles to go around Rockingham. Mum Karen, this is going to be an emotional first victory if Ollie Plail can hold on. Hold on, just look at him. He's absolutely driving away from these three. Stevie Hodgson, John Mickle, Anthony Swan, second, third and fourth places. The man who is out in front by almost the whole of the back straight now is Ollie Plail. What a tremendous result for the young man from Southend, because Ollie Plail is already up to the last corner of the lap. Mum is celebrating, and Ollie Plail is heading for the checkered flag. An absolutely brilliant result.
Congratulations.
He's just dedicated the win to the memory of his father. To lead so long, and to be able to keep calm and to do that, Absolutely tremendous effort.
And as you said earlier, 19 years old.
He is. When he gets a bit of experience, he's going to be quite good, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going to be quite good. As we look at that result there, Ollie Plail wins it, and an emotional Gavin Wills enjoyed that win too, I think.
Well, yes, Olive's dad died last year just before Ollie got into a Days of Thunder car for the first time, so a very special victory.
Yeah, look at that. He gets up onto the top of the car, and Ollie Plail salutes the crowd. The crowd salute him. Fantastic result for this driver. Very, very popular victory. Let's catch up with the driver right now.
How does that feel?
Oh, it's the best feeling in the world. I couldn't have wished for anything else. The West Tech boys, Liberty X, Reebok have just done absolutely everything that I needed. They've put together such a fantastic deal this year, and we're just going for the next win now.
Give yourself a breather, mate. Give yourself some credit as well, because you started on pole and there was a few hiccups in the race, but you stayed there. You had to overtake people as well.
They weren't hiccups. I was just letting my car cool down. She'd been working hard, and I just wanted to cool her down and then go at the end. I knew there'd be another yellow flag, and as soon as that happened, we were gone.
Congratulations, Ollie.
Thank you very much.
First of many?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, after that fantastic win, Ollie moves himself up into the top 8. Stevie Hodgson extends his lead in the championship, and John Mickle jumps 3 places to 4th, thanks to 3 podium finishes on the trot.
Mystique will be our special guest at our next Days of Thunder event in September. If you would like a chance to see a great day's racing and meet the band, please answer this following question. Name Mystique's top 10 smash hit. Is it A, Scandalous, B, Outrageous, or C, Preposterous? Call the number on your screen. Lines are open now. Good luck.